I think I'm going to change the name of this channel to 3 a.m. Positive Wave Rider because I just keep on waking up between 3 and 4 in the morning, and which is not an expectation of mine to achieve. And that's just such a bad segue into this subject matter. Expectations. Building expectations, failing at expectations. Is expectations a fancy word for goals? In this particular subject matter, I was just thinking about, all my past relationships and everything, and both personal relationship, girlfriends, wife, to just friends. How did I fail in expectations? I think I'm a very simple person. We were not raised to value expectations in my family. I think my mother, who was our primary parent of the two, was always, I expect you to be kind to people. I expect you to be courteous, and not in the way that, you take out a belt and hit you if I said something foul in front of somebody or whatever. But, I expect you to be respectful to your elders. But they didn't have expectations of me becoming anything more in my life than who I wanted to be. You know what I'm talking about? I expect you to be a lawyer or a doctor or rich or successful or, whatever. There was no expectations. They said, go live your life. As soon as you metamorphosize yourself through high school and stuff, turn into, what you want to be. I have no expectations of you becoming anything more than you want to be. I think that was a huge thing, not knowing at the time. Then again, the same token, I don't know that translated into me having stronger expectations about myself that I had to build within myself. I think the thing that might be missing somewhere, I can only say from my life, is that maybe if there would have been, it would have placed a little more of like an expectation / goal of the why. But even that's kind of a gray area, right? Expectation. Every time you hear the word expectation, it's almost like, I have an expectation of you. You know what I'm saying? Whereas a goal is more like something you're working towards. But I've gone through my life not having any expectations of any other human being that I encounter. That I have to go through my life, and my heart, love as well, with the expectations that I have the tools within myself to be aware of who I'm letting in. That would be something that's like an expectation fail on myself. What's that one saying? First time, shame on them. Second time, shame on you. I think it's something like that. That would be kind of like a failed expectation. Like if you see it and it happened, but you decide to stay in there, you kind of fail yourself. You expected something to change. It's been a very unique journey with my personal life because the more powerful, memorable relationships in my life have all failed based on failed expectations from those relationships they had on me. I was always, hey, I just love you for who you are. I have no expectations of anything of you. I'd like for you to take care of yourself the best you know how to for yourself. But I have no expectations on how you do anything except how you conduct yourself with me, and we make each other feel. But I don't have an expectation of hitting goals. Where with my ex-wife, who's a wonderful, still very important part of my life, and we would have these little battles of, she had expectations of me. I had zero expectations of her. I just say, hey man, I just love you for who you are. And that, well, my naivete perhaps, but her expectations of me were more, I believe, of, I see you being more than who you are if you would only apply yourself more to become, and that was our pull back and forth. I would say, yeah, I understand that, but I don't have the same goals as you do to become something. I have already become who I am, and I'm happy being that, and I'm happy being as best as an equal partner as I can be. Did I meet the expectations of her and I, raising, the girls or doing the things we did together as a partner? Absolutely. I understood what my expectations were to be in that capacity. And because of our love, you meet it, but there was relationships I had in the past where I remember one where I expect you to love me as much as I saw my sister's husband love and dote on her. And I just don't feel like I get that from you. And I'm just like, well, wait a minute. I'm loyal and honest and I don't cheat and blah, blah, blah. And we have fun and we do all these things, but she was looking for something else. She was looking for something more. It always was looking for something more with the relationships that failed for me. That was expectations that grew later. We get into this relationship, it's all going well, and then all of a sudden, I'm happy going well. I'm like, hey, happy, we're going well. What are our plans next? What do you want to do? And then the expectations start to pile up, and I'm like, gosh, I don't know if I can make those expectations based on what your needs are for us. Ooh, right? And what are your needs for us to work out, well, where I'm already going, hey, I think everything. And that could be, in self-internalizing, that could be me. Maybe I am just a very simple-minded, hey, I love you. Let's, all our bills are paid or whatever this month, and let's go get a scoop of ice cream. Life is good, and I know there's all that joy in my past relationships, but it always ended up being the end of every single one of my relationships is based on I did not meet expectations, which doesn't make them, even in my mind, it doesn't make them tough people, or I don't want to say the word bad. That's what they wanted in their life was, somebody to grow in expectations. And that's something I just missed that train. I just was like growing expectations, and like I said, defining the difference between expectation and goals. Like, do I expect myself to be the best composer in the world? No. Are my goals to be the best composer in the world? No. But my expectation is that I use my skill set and my craft in order to take care of myself so I can have my cup of coffee. Or when I was in the relationship with my ex-wife, be able to participate with her as a partner and take care of the family and the things that we did together, and support each other and stuff. But, that expectations for me has always been, like I said earlier, that it's really weird because that word does have that, I have expectations. Opposed to how about some goals? This is what happens at 3:58 in the morning. I didn't expect to do this. I didn't have any expectations to do this. I don't know. Yeah, it's different from the expectations at work, right? That's because you're getting paid to do something you're expected to perform, but I don't know. I just don't have any expectations of humans outside of my own. And outside of, I make that decision. Oh, that person's not going to get in my circle. I made a decision based on my expectations on how I look at things. Who will I let in my circle? But as far as saying, they will help. I expect that this will happen. I expect that this will, no. I've got like double, triple redundancy systems just in case shit doesn't happen right. I'm a life prepper. What's that term, prepper, when you prep for that bad, war and stuff like that? No, I'm a life prepper. So that's been my, just kind of see what's the potentials of things going right and wrong and try to plan. As long as I have my coffee and my vanilla nut creamer, I'm all right. So anyhow, that was my sun's not up early in the morning rant on expectations. And I expect, or should I not expect, that anybody will leave a comment and say, I'm still here. Oh my God. All right, guys, take care. See ya. Count the wins. All right.